everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dia and this is Novel Idea and it is Tag Tuesday. So AJ tagged me last week in Miss Reads a Lot Let's Get Outside video and or tag, and so that is what I'm going to be doing today. Take you along with me and hopefully we'll get through the whole tag. Thanks for coming back. Okay, so the first question is, Into Thin Air, name a favorite book that is set outside. And I can think of a couple. I love outdoor settings in books. I love adventure stories. But maybe The Little Prince. And I have several copies of The Little Prince, so that might be why it's coming to mind. Not only set outside, but also set in the air. And then also a book by Anne Morrow Lindbergh called Gift from the Sea, or Gifts from the Sea, where she spends time on an island at the beach reflecting on life. It's a beautiful book. So yeah, I'll say those two. Okay, and the next prompt is Winter Dance, and it's to name hobbies that you continue to do even if you're not that good at them. And for me, that's pretty much everything that I do. I'm decent at most things, but some of my hobbies are photography, sewing, gardening, cooking, and I love all of those things, but I would not say that I am great at any of them. I enjoy them. I continue to do them, but there's always somebody that's better, and somebody that seems to have a natural gift at something that I just don't have. So that would be my answer. Okay, so we're back from running errands, and I have some cornbread in the oven that I'm waiting to finish up with. So I thought I would record a few more of these. So prompt number 3 is the book Wild, which is about a woman who hikes the Pacific Coast Trail, and which I'm very familiar with, and after her mom dies. And so this is kind of her way of grieving and dealing with loss. So the prompt for this book is tell us about a book that is dealing with grief. So I have a few of these. First one is Through the Shadowlands, and this is about C.S. Lewis and dealing with the grief and the loss of his wife Joy after not being married for very long. And so there's that one, and then another one that I just read actually a couple months ago was The Firekeeper's Daughter. And this deals with all different kinds of grief, and it's really, really well done. I think it's a well done book. But yeah, it deals with all kinds of grief, and so there's that one. And then The Wide Starlight is another one that I really like, and it is more about not letting go, and so all different kinds of grief, all different ways of dealing with them in all of those books. So there's that prompt. Okay, so prompt number 4 is Into the Wild, And this one is about a man who just goes off by himself, and he off to Alaska, and he ends up dying sadly during his little excursion by himself. And so the question for this is, does living off the grid appeal to you? And I think that the story would probably scare most people away from that. However, I have always wanted to live on the top of a mountain that's accessible only by helicopter. So living off the grid does not scare me away at all. I would want my family accessible to me, but I'm not afraid of being by myself, and I absolutely love being by myself. So yeah, I would definitely want that. But one of my all-time favorite books, this one doesn't ask for a book, but one of my all-time favorite books is actually a kid's book, and it's by Barbara Cooney, and it is called Island Boy. And it's about a family that moves to a very remote island, the farthest out island off the coast of Maine. And they live out there. And so like I said, I would want my family around me, but I would live on top of a mountain. I would live on a very remote island. I would live, my husband's laughing at me. I would live in just the middle of nowhere, deep in the deep woods, and be perfectly happy for the rest of my life if that was an option. It's not an option, but if it was. Okay, so prompt number 5 is A Walk in the Woods, and this is Bill Bryson's book. I love this book. It's so fun. And it's about him wanting to hike the Appalachian Trail, and he sends out an email, or maybe just calls, I don't know, friends, and asks them to join him, and only one responds. And it's a very unlikely pairing to hike the Appalachian Trail. So the prompt for this one is an interesting friendship, book with an interesting friendship. And I have a few for this one as well. And one of them, once again, is a children's book. Well, actually, 2 of them could be considered children's books. The first one is A Wheel on the School. This is by Mindert de Jong, or de Young. The friendship that I am thinking about is between the main character, who's the only girl in the whole school, and an elderly lady that lives in town. And so I love that friendship, and it really spoke to me when I was going through it, because my kids love elderly people. And they did the whole time they were growing up. They just loved elderly people. And I have never been comfortable around elderly people other than my own grandparents. And so this was just really special. So there's The Wheel on the School. The next one is the children's book that I was talking about, and that is Ernest and Celestine. And this is the sweetest friendship between a bear and a mouse. And you would think that the bear would be the one that is being taken care of, but they have just this beautiful, almost symbiotic relationship. It's just really sweet. So Ernest and Celestine. And then The 100 Years of Lenny and Margot. So if you haven't read that book, I would highly encourage you to go read it. And I will put a picture of it up here because I do not have a copy. So there's that prompt. Okay, so Sandy's next prompt is adrift. And the question for this is, do you like water? And unlike living alone, I do not like water. I love the sound of water. I love to look at the water. I love to be near water. I love to watch the weather across the water. I am not a water baby. Not at all. I don't want to be on the water. I don't want to be in the water. Everything else to do with water, I like. I even like drinking water. But I don't want to be in it or on it. And then prompt number 7 is hatchet, which is Gary Paulson's survival story about a boy in a plane wreck on his way to Alaska. Lots of Alaska books in this prompt. So your favorite survival story. And I just watched Michelle's video this morning, and it was so cute. And she actually said Hunger Games, which I have never thought of as a survival story, but it totally is. Which I do love that. But the ones that I wrote down are Swiss Family Robinson, and then The Secret of Ron More Scary, which is what, if you've ever seen the film The Secret of Roan Inish, that is what the book The Secret of Roan More Scary is what Roan Inish is based on. So those are my 2 that I thought of for survival stories, and I love both of them. Okay, so the next one is A Perfect Storm, and I saw the movie A Perfect Storm on my very first trans-Pacific flight across the ocean when we were on our way to Hawaii. And yeah, not a good on-flight movie when you're directly above the ocean. But anyway, the question for this is, do you like stormy weather? And the answer is actually yes. I love storms. I love gray weather. I love gray skies. I love the sound of wind. I love thunder and lightning. I love snow. As long as I don't have to be out in it for great lengths of time, I don't mind walking in the rain. I like it all. So yes, I like stormy weather. So good soup, tea, cider, whatever. Just sip, curl up, listen. I love it. Okay, and the last prompt is, of course, to tag other people. So I'm going to tag Tiffany at Beautiful Minutia, and I'm going to tag Courtney at Courtney Reads, and I'll tag Kelli at Kelli Reads a Lot. And I will leave their channels linked down below as well. And thanks again for stopping by, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.